Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dallar and today's video is going to be a little bit different because today I want to do a countdown of top 5 most fun classes to PvP in World of Warcraft. Now, this list is my own personal opinion, so my own opinion might not agree with yours, so keep that in mind when you watch the video. But what I'm looking for out of the most fun class is it gotta have good damage, it gotta be fun to play overall, not a staple, boring rotation. It gotta be interesting in terms of PvP, and most of all, it gotta be viable. So those are the things I'm gonna be looking for when choosing my classes and specs. So without further ado, let's get on to the video and start down the countdown of the first class on the list. Number 5 on the list is Windwalker Monk, the Eye of the Tiger. Windwalker Monks are a lot of fun. They are the definition of a monk, one of the most versatile DPS classes and hybrids in the game by far. While they aren't top of the charts, they are highly mobile, able to get in and out of battle with ease. They have healing abilities and can turn other spells into self-heals as well as damaging spells. Their damage lineup is almost like that of a rogue, but in a simpler manner. They can choose how they deal damage altogether through various talents that can give more than one playstyle for the player. There's always something fun about being able to play the way you want to play, but the most fun thing about Windwalker Monks for me is simply the battle animations. As you're fighting your foes, you're doing a bunch of kicks and flips, and it's especially hilarious when I'm playing a big ass Tauren and completely defying gravity as I'm hovering in midair, throwing my hooves and fists all over the place. That's what was the most fun about playing a monk, and definitely goes down on this list and top 5. Number 4 on the list, the Assassination Rogue. Now you guys would have thought that I would have been biased here and put Rogue on top, but this is my list and I feel like Assassination deserves a number 4. Master of Stealth, Assassination Rogue is the pick for this class. While Rogue is one of the harder classes to master, the spec of Assassination easily offers plenty of variety and gameplay for a newer player. While the spec is all about CC and lining up damage like the rest of other rogue specs, the damage of poisons is highly potent even without PvP gear, and the use of Vendetta allows for some massive burst when you want it combined with Death Row above. This spec overall deals out damage easier than most and has an amazing burst on demand. What I find fun about this spec is you can literally just relax, turn off your brain, and go stab some holes in some fools. And that's what's most fun about this spec. Easy damage, easy burst, easy way to play one of the most complicated classes in the game. The next on the list is number 3, and it is the Warrior, Master at Arms. Arms warriors only know one thing, and that is damage. Highly mobile melee class, leaping and charging foes that make for very potent in terms of damage. Their defense is lacking and doesn't have much complexity, but when aimed together with a healer they become an unstoppable machine of destruction. Their executes deal a ton of damage, so they're great at finishing off foes. That combined with high mobility makes some great footage when getting some montage clips for great kills and crits. With cleaves, this class can rush into a pile of foes and reduce their health to bits within seconds. Lots of ways to deal damage from the talent choices, and do all that while looking like the biggest badass ever on every battleground. And that is what I find cool about Warriors. What's fun about them is as you're stealing kills with executes, leaping through the air, charging into foes, cleaving them all down, you look really cool doing it. And it's just a really cool feeling of playing a warrior, wearing an old plate, swinging an axe or a sword or whatever weapon of choice you have, and just watching the enemies just crumble to dust. That is the most fun about playing a warrior within PvP, just all that damage. On the number 2 list we have mages, primarily the fire mages, that simply deal a lot of damage, and I mean a lot. While their mechanic is dealing damage for the most part, burn your targets away and never stop casting. They are very mobile for a caster and can cast on the go, which is one of the coolest things about them. The way they deal their damage is off of crit procs, where crits create opportunities for you to use stronger spells which hit really hard and really fast. This crit based mechanic is not your average rotation, as there is some RNG to it. But the RNG is the fun factor because that determines how you're going to play, what is the next spell you're going to cast, and you never use the same rotation in a PvP match, ever. Making this for a very varied rotation in every fight, which is part of the fun about playing a mage. High mobility, varied damage rotation, high damage altogether. This class and spec overall is a lot of fun and is very easy to pick up for somebody who's never played the game, let alone a mage. The number one on the list is the Hunter, mainly the Beast Mastery Hunter. Hunters are seen as an easy class for beginners, and they sustain that feel when trying out for PvP for the first time. They are a great class for a new player, and are really easy to learn how to play for PvP. The pet for Beast Mastery deals a lot of damage for the spec, so you don't always need to be onto your target constantly, as the pet does a lot of the job for you. The pet NPC is also pretty smart and self-reliant, so it's not too hard to manage it. Best part about Hunters is they are mobile ranged casters that cast physical damage. They have many CDs that are made for easy damage and are just overall fun. Their use of traps is also added into the fun factor, as they can knock people back with explosive traps, making for some hilarious moments when knocking foes off of high places. What I find fun about Hunters is just how PvP friendly they are. I simply logged onto a Hunter, slaughtered my abilities in keybinds, went into Battlegrounds and almost topped the charts at about every single BG without even trying or without really knowing what I'm doing. They are just so easy to play and easy to pick up, and I think that is the best thing about them, and that is the most fun thing about Hunters, and that's where they go at the number one spot for this list. I do have one honorable mention, and that is for Affliction Warlock, as Affliction Warlock was originally going to make the list, but then after playing it for a while I decided it wasn't quite good enough for this top 5 most fun classes. It definitely is fun. What's fun about Affliction Warlock is the fact that you do dot damage. You focus on damage over time altogether. One of the most potent classes and specs for it. And the way you deal damage is, instead of dealing it to a single target, you rot the whole enemy team. And that is what's fun about a Warlock. Just the dots and the fact that you apply them on everybody instead of just one target, and then you CC the rest of the time. What I found kind of a drawback for Affliction Warlock is just how much of a skill cap you need in order to be able to actually play it in Battlegrounds. I felt like a single melee character was literally able to lock me down completely and made me unable to cast any of my spells, making me for a pretty crappy Warlock. And because of that kind of skill cap, I felt like it didn't quite make it the list, but it definitely is an honorable mention, as I enjoyed playing it in Battlegrounds. And that is it. That is my top 5 most fun classes for me in terms of PvP in World of Warcraft in Warlords of Draenor. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and what do you think about the list? Let me know about that in the comments below. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a great day. My name is Darwin, and I'll see you guys in the next video.